Ready?
Yeah, man.
Well, hello everybody, and we are here at InfoComm 2025, and this is the inaugural podcast recording here at the studio. Yes, please don't burn yourself on this fire.
Warming my
Exactly.
hands by the fire.
We're here at Camp HETMA, and this is a nice little preview because it's actually Tuesday, not Wednesday. The show floor is not yet open. Hence the chaos behind us, but it's also a little quieter than I think it will be later in the week. So,
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you for coming to talk with us.
Hey, man.
Would you, if people don't know who you are, who are you, what do you do?
I am Chuck Espinoza, the Global Director of Education for Aurora Multimedia. I teach class. I have classes for Aurora. I do a bunch of the traveling classes all over the world, and I develop their content, their curriculum for product training and general AV over IP training for our reps, our clients, any of our distributors. I go out to their offices and train the people on good practices of AV over IP and how to incorporate our products into those AV over IP systems.
Nice. And would you say you would consider yourself the godfather of training in pro audio video?
I would not consider myself the godfather.
Well, is it okay if the rest of us consider you as that?
Hey, man, you can think about me however you want to think about me, but I'm a dude who likes to talk about it. So we had this conversation, and we really got into, we were at dinner, and it started getting really into talking, and they're like, we're just nerding out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I'm a big nerd. I just nerd out, and I nerd out with friends, and I'm fortunate that I get a lot of friends to come out and nerd out with me. So that's what I do. I just talk.
That's awesome. Well, like I said, if you want to look at something that's fun, I'm sure your LinkedIn has all of your certifications listed somewhere.
Yeah.
You've got to have more AV certifications than any other human being that's ever lived.
I get bored quick.
Yeah.
And so it all started off as I'm not what you would call traditionally educated, from the time in the military and whatnot. I didn't go to college, and one thing I found is if you really want your voice heard, I was doing a thing and somebody said, oh, you don't really know what you're talking about. I'm like, hold on, let me go get a cert.
Yeah.
So I got a cert, got CTS, and it happened again, people saying, what kind of credentials you have? You really don't. And I'm like, I know what I'm talking about, really. So I got my I, got my D, and then I found out that not only does it give you credibility, it gives you, people see, they say, oh, you have a bunch of certs, you must kind of know what you're talking about. But beyond that, and this goes with all training, it gave me a goal to kind of do something more and keep learning and keep getting better and better and better. And it's just more tools in my bag. So when I have to diagnose a system or teach somebody about something, I have those tools in the bag. And it kind of got to be an obsession after a while. Like, I'm going to go do this training. I get the training, and they say, hey, you get these cool letters. Here's your PMP.
Exactly.
And it turns into, with me, it's just a lifestyle. I like learning, and even though, I, like you say, I got all these certs, I still go to training classes. I still take classes. I still learn stuff online. It's impossible to learn everything, but I'm going to try.
That's awesome. Well, like I said, you set an example for everybody, and your passion for it is well known in the industry. So you've been with Aurora for a while, and obviously it's Tuesday. You guys are working on your booth. You're getting stuff set up. You're doing that. So for all of, there's a, higher ed funding's been a little weird, and there's a lot of higher ed people who can't make the show this year.
Yeah.
So what do they need to know about what you're going to have in the booth that we need to make sure they know about? So
there's a lot of things we have in the booth that benefit higher ed. Number one, our SDVOE products. A lot of higher ed use 10 gig SDVOE. Yeah. So our IPX SDVOE products are on point. We even have a demo over at the SDVOE booth specifically geared toward higher ed with our IPX Ultra, our product that's a 10 gig SDVOE true transceiver. It sends and receives at the same time. It also has a NUC PC built in, so that's it's the whole thing, right? It's got 4 inputs, 4 physical inputs, and then 2 inputs from the PC's video card, then your SDVOE input, so it actually has 7 inputs on it. And then it has 4 outputs, those 2 video card outputs. It has your SDVOE output, and then it has a regular Ethernet output for NDI and JPEG 2000, things like that. So that paired up with our transceiver, our just transceiver box, our interface box that does send and receive at the same time with almost zero latency. You're talking like microseconds, right? It's SDVOE, it's 10 gig. Other things we have coming up for the budget conscious, right? Like you said, funding's it's getting tight. We have some new products, IPT. How I describe it is the benefit of HD-based T, the simplicity that you can just plug it into each other and they work like transceivers, and the flexibility of AV over IP, where you could actually take those same transceivers and plug them into a switch, and now you have matrixing.
Yeah.
So HD-based T is great, but it's hard to matrix. It's expensive.
Right.
IP-based T, like AV over IP traditionally, packet sending, the endpoints are a little bit more, but the switch is really cheap. And not cheap, it's less expensive than a big matrix switch or something. And if you have to upgrade, if you have to go from that 8x8 to a 9x8, that'd be a new switch. Well, with AV over IP, you just add a bigger switch or fiber in another switch, and you can add on ports. So this is the benefit of both worlds. Yeah. It's the more of the cost point toward HD-based T, that ease of use of HD-based T, but still the flexibility of AV over IP. So I think that's going to be a big hit when we're just trying to transport stuff from one to the other, but still make it part of a larger system.
So I agree. In higher ed, there's definitely still sort of a bifurcated people who are like, nope, we're sticking HD-based T, the network is a problem, yada, 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 and people that are totally made the transition over. And what I like about that line is, like you said, it's kind of somewhere in between, where you've got a thing where the flexibility and the architecture of IP would be better, but you're not ready to go all in on one of the, something crazy. Like, you guys are filling that place for people who need to do a 5x4 and need it to be flexible, but you don't have to have a networking degree to make it work.
Right. Yeah, that's another thing, is it's very, very simple to use. It doesn't even use IP addresses. It's a
layer 2 protocol.
It is a layer 2 protocol, so it's very easy to use. It is very much plug and play. And our big product that's coming out this year, or that's out and it's going into installs, we actually have it into college, is our RXT4D with Smart Speak.
Yep.
This thing is amazing. You have a control system with a beamforming microphone, so you can adjust your patterns. It also has a loudspeaker that sounds beautiful, a full control system, a great microphone, a great loudspeaker. You get enough of these around the table, it fills up the entire room. We have the under-table low-end driver, and it's all PoE powered. It's all Dante, so it's just a Dante endpoint. These things are amazing when you hear the sound quality on them. And we did a bunch of analyzation with gooseneck mics versus the RXT4D, and the RXT4D was so much user-friendly. People held, you don't have to hold it. It's on the table. You don't have to bend over to talk or adjust the microphone. You don't have to get the handling noise. So I think I'm really thinking that's going to take off in higher ed, because, again, there's so many things involved with it. Like, I want my microphone closer to my talker. Yeah. Well, this thing's a touch panel, so you have to actually get it within arm's reach. That's one of the little tricks we use. So I think that's going to go a long way. I think people are really going to be happy with that when they start seeing it. And of course, it uses our Core Studio and ReAX software. So that full control system, you don't have to have a degree in Latin. It is standard HTML and JavaScript based. If you can make a web page, you can make a control system, and it's very, very easy to use. If you have students who are doing web design, hey, do my control system.
Yeah, and turn them loose on it.
Yep, and that's it.
That's awesome. Well, so we're going to get the information on those products and other stuff, packaged up for folks, so that, people who couldn't make it this week can benefit from those things. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow and Thursday while we're bringing a tour around.
Oh, yeah,
for people.
yeah.
So Aurora is always a fun stop, because there's always good energy in the Aurora booth.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing, is we had a lot of energy. Paul Harris drives that bus on that, and we all feed off his energy, and we bring up the energy, and, and I'm very, very packed, and Chris is packed full of energy. And our new UK guy, he's not new, he's been here for about a year, but this is his first InfoComm with Aurora. Roy, man, that guy's, he and I were in Saudi Arabia and Dubai a couple weeks ago, and we just tore it up, man. It was great. I love traveling with the guy.
Nice. So. Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate you sharing all that. Thank you for all the stuff that Aurora does, and we look forward to bringing folks by your booth tomorrow.
My pleasure, our pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Perfect.